If you're looking to sell your practice, these are the 6 points you need to consider. You would need to get at least the last 3 years of accounts ready and be in contact with your accountant so you have all your documents together. I'd advise that you get all your CQC compliance all in date and reviews added in. I'd also look at your lease and make sure how long you've got left on your lease, and also look at staff contracts, associate contracts. Second thing to consider are the heads of terms. They're usually drafted by solicitors, or agents can also draft heads of terms for you. They're not legally binding, so it's really important to understand that part. They usually consist of having a date, the amount of the sale, and the buyer and seller's names and details, etc. Point 3 is due diligence. That is a lengthy process, but it is to establish the assets and liabilities of the business that you're selling. It's usually a good idea to speak to your agent, speak to any of us. We can give you a list ahead of time so that you can start collating the due diligence documents, as solicitors will request a huge amount of documents, so it's a really good idea to start preparing very early on. Fourth thing to consider will be the sale purchase agreement, usually called an SPA. That is something both solicitors draft together, and it is discussed with both clients, the buyer and the seller, and that is your final document outlining the different clauses of all the actual sale, the price, the timing, how long the sale is going to take, the procedure to complete. Point 5 is exchange and completion. Usually can happen on the same day. However, exchange can be done 28 days prior. If there's an NHS contract, you would need to serve notices, and the legal teams do that for you. Therefore, you could exchange 28 days before and complete a month later. And finally, point 6 is post-completion. It's really important to understand that the legal teams do remove the vendor from the NHS contract and also from the CQC registration. The incoming buyer will then take that name on, but it's important to keep an eye with your solicitors to make sure that your name is removed from both registrations, NHS and CQC.